Do you ever feel like you're the only one in the world that doesn't have friends? Like, what's wrong with you? Are you that bad? Are you that obnoxious, that awful, that ugly? Nobody wants to be your friend? How could this be? How could it happen? It's not so uncommon. I think there's more people out there without friends than you might think. They say the shortage of friends is almost an epidemic these days. And I'm sure there's lots of reasons. I'm sure the internet and the fact that people are working from home and just the pace of life these days. Everything's fast, 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 you know? And does it matter? Maybe you've not had friends for so very long that you've grown accustomed to it. That's kind of the way I am. I don't know, I think it's more important to young people that they have friends. Seems like it used to be more important to me, but I got used to it. I kind of accepted being a loner for so long that I just grew accustomed to it. And you know, things happen in your life. You get married, you know, you start a career, you have children, and they take away your time and they occupy your time. And especially the kids, you know, for the longest, you know, my kids are 18 and 20 right now, and for the longest, it wasn't important to me that I didn't have friends because I had my kids. And I was like, that was my excuse. You know, I just told myself, who needs friends? I got kids. You know, I was doing some research for this video and I ran across this story where a couple of friends were going through something, or one in particular was going through something. The gentleman had lost his father. So his friend texted him and told him in the text message, look, oh, I'm so sorry that you have lost your father. I know what that feels like. I lost my mother at a very young age, so I can really relate to your pain right now. But look, I'm not going to call you because I know that this just went down and there's probably a zillion people calling you and just blowing up your phone with their condolences and whatnot. So I don't want to overwhelm you. But what I want you to know is I'm your friend. I'm going to be there for you. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to call you every morning at 9:45. And if you want to talk, pick up the phone and you know that I'm calling to make sure that you're okay, to check in with you and just to listen. So if you want to talk, pick up the phone. But you don't have to. If you're not ready, no problem. But I'm going to call you every morning at 9:45 and you just know that I'm there. So he did. And he started the next day at 9:45 in the morning and he called him. And the guy didn't pick up, didn't take the call for about a week. And then after that, he started picking up the calls and having that conversation and, you know, listening to one another and having, doing what friends do for each support, you know. That's what friends do for each other. They listen to one another and they support one another just by being there. I'm not saying that he necessarily has to do great things and come up with awesome solutions or plans. You know, a friend is just there to listen and to support, you know, to reassure your friend that they're not alone and what they're going through is not so unique in that other people can also feel this way, you know. If you're feeling depressed, you should know that other people also feel depressed, and it's part of life, and it's something that we all go through at one point or another in our lives. It's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It only means that you're human, and humans go through all different types of seasons. They say it's worse for men. I'm not entirely sure I understand why, but I do believe it. Being a man, I know I haven't had a friend in years, many years. I haven't had a best friend since I was 18. That seems like an eternity ago. I have acquaintances. I know people. People know me. But there's nobody that I can turn to in a time of need. My wife is my friend. That's my person. My children, maybe. But that's not really what I'm talking about. I mean, a spouse and family is very important, don't get me wrong, but that's kind of a separate topic. I'm talking about friends, people you're not related to that you can just call a friend. Maybe, they're a childhood friend or a friend from school or a friend from work. It doesn't matter where they came from, but do you have someone like that? I don't, and I haven't all of my adult life, man. I try to, especially since my kids have become young adults and gotten to the point where they don't really need me like they once did. So I have more time on my hands, and I've tried. I've gotten involved with groups like Facebook groups and stuff that share in activities that we similarly find enjoyable, like motorcycling and stuff. I recently got back into motorcycling, and I joined a Facebook group here in my city so that I could kind of hook up with people that like to motorcycle. And of course, I chatted up with people among the group, and I've tried to make friends, but it just hasn't really clicked. Not because there's no quality people, but just because these people are like everybody else nowadays, busy, too busy living their lives, doing their things to really be a good friend. And what is a good friend? Well, in my book, a good friend is just somebody that wants to share their time and attention with someone else, What does it take? It takes time and attention, I think, more than anything else. Me being there for somebody else, listening to them, willing to shut my mouth and just listen to them and what their ideas and thoughts are. So that takes time and my attention. And man, it just seems like we're so hesitant to give that up, our time and attention, because we're so busy. So, what kind of friend are you? Is that why I don't have any friends? Because I suck at that? Maybe. I need to look at that. When I get around people that potentially could be my friends, am I so excited that I just keep running my mouth and never give them an opportunity to share their thoughts and ideas? Maybe. Definitely know I'm not perfect, so I could be guilty of that. I'm going to have to make a conscious effort to observe myself. I can do that. Give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Report back to me, and I'll do the same. Mursegeorge out.